I got 1,000 stories I can tell you, but 1,000,000 stories I cannot. These are the stories that I can tell you. Real stories, real people, real talk, concrete conversation. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, John Villanueva. We got a special guest in the building tonight, somebody that I consider definitely somebody that's imprinted into the game, California's own, the one and only Tyrone Gibson, a.k.a. June. Pleasure to have you, my man.
Nice to meet you, man. Good to be here
No,
finally. You
definitely,
know what I'm
man.
saying? I know we've been going back and forth a few times trying to get it
Yeah.
together, but I mean, it's all good. I'm here now,
I
man.
appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. So let's jump right into it, man, because I love the redemption. I love the story you have. What was it like growing up in California with you and your siblings back in the day?
It was a struggle at times. It was fun at times.
Yeah,
Uh, it was educational.
true.
Uh, being around the streets in the hood. It was around the early '80s. You know, and there was a lot of drug dealing going on.
Mm.
That's when cocaine was like people was selling cocaine big time. And,
Yeah.
we lived right down the street from the projects from 113 and Grape. I grew up around all the Grape streets out there, so it's to go down there, man.
Definitely,
You know,
man. Definitely.
yeah,
And the things that you've seen in that era, because that's when actually the drug epidemic started to really crack off in them '80s, early '80s, mid '80s. What was some certain things that you was seeing being a youngster, walking the block and doing what you was doing?
I didn't seen a lot of street fights, ice cream man getting robbed and shot. I didn't seen drive-bys. I didn't
Yeah.
seen little girls getting shot, killed, AK-47. Man, I didn't seen uh people being robbed. You know what I'm saying? Cops afraid to drive into the projects and
True.
afraid to drive down 113th Street.
True.
I didn't seen street parties, hood parties.
Yeah.
I mean, I done been around it all, man, down there in the inner city, down there in LA County, man.
Damn right.
So I grew up all around Watts. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it was a lot to see. It was a lot to learn. You
True.
just had to stay out the way, know where to go,
True.
where not to. It's just, you know what I mean? You have to know how to move.
Politics, man.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And how do you feel that made you into the teenager growing up, as seeing these things growing up? How did this environment make you into the person as far as in teenager wise?
When I was a teen, that's when I started game banging real tough, man. I mean, my brother he'll come in and out, he'll be around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's when I started game banging real tough when I was a teen.
Yeah.
High school, I've been around the watch riots, all of that, man. Like it was growing up around that environment, being in that growing up in that culture at that time.
Yeah.
You had no choice but to be into that mentality.
True.
You had no choice but to grow up around that street life.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Smoking weed, drinking 40 ounces,
True.
and you know what I mean? Going to hood parties, like I said, man. It was a lot. It was a lot to see. It was a lot to be around.
Yeah.
And when you grow up and you a teen, you gotta be a choice. You gotta make a choice to be a part of it, or you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was, I had made a choice to be a part of it because that was just my environment.
True.
That's where I grew up at. I
True.
could have went another route, but there was no other routes.
Yeah. Now,
You know what I
growing
mean?
up,
To go
I
back
know that music was a big influence in your life as well as your siblings' life as well. Growing up as a youngster, teenager, with your brother Tyrese, all of y'all in the home, what was the music that was playing, that was kicking off, you know what I'm saying, on the stereo or whatnot at mom's crib?
A lot of oldies.
Yeah,
Al
man.
Green, you know what I'm saying? Al Green, Isley Brothers, The
Yeah.
Whispers. My mom played a lot of oldies and stuff,
That's
man, when we was
love.
growing up.
That's love.
And it was, that's when we used to watch BET a lot.
Yeah, man.
And, you know what I'm saying? We used to sit and gather around the TV when they used to have the award shows, when
Yeah.
Boyz II Men was real popular at that time,
Yeah.
and it was the music. As far as music goes, it we got that gift from my dad. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And my dad used to have a drum set. Me and Tyrese was like 5 years old. He used to have guitars and drum sets. And then
Yeah,
Tyrese used to sneak in there and mess with his equipment when he used to go and leave out the house, and we get in trouble when he got back
yeah, yeah. That's
because
amazing, man. I come
we was
from a
trying to
similar
figure out.
background, man, so I can understand that. Just so heavily
Yeah,
influenced with music that came out, especially having a family member that was like in tune with musicians and different
yeah,
instruments. I can adapt to that, man. When did you
yeah, man.
know? When did you like see the real talent that came out with you and your brother? I know you're older than him, but when did you notice your little brother and yourself gravitating in your own side of music? When did that take place?
Uh, I think Tyrese really started taking music serious and singing and stuff like that when he was 16. I
Mm.
was 17 at the time, so I was like rapping, hood
Yeah,
rapping and
yeah,
doing all
yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff like that, man. And I would you know, be around the packs. That's when those we used to make honey blunts and all of that,
Yeah,
man.
Phillies,
You know what I
baby.
mean?
Come on now.
Honey blunts.
Yeah,
And we used to get around the packs. We used to make our own beanies with the string tie,
yeah,
like the
yeah, yeah.
onyx and shit. We
I
used to do
got you.
all of that shit, man, back in the day.
I got you. I got
And
you.
Tyrese started singing around the house a lot, and he used to go to
Mm.
talent shows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He used to do all of that stuff like that, man. And
Mm.
he had a gift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had a gift too,
You did. You
but
still do.
I was still trying to find, you know what I'm saying, my niche into how it's going to be, like
Yeah.
with I can rap different styles or whatever and stuff
True.
like that. And my brother, he had the niche of looking at, learning R&B. So when we used to watch that television,
Yeah.
when the award shows come, Tyrese was singing all the parts for
Mm.
everybody. You know what I'm saying? He knew the
Mm.
melodies and all of that stuff like that. And we
Yeah.
would just sit down, my sisters and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and we would just enjoy TV. That's when TV was
Big.
free. We didn't have cable and none of
True.
that shit. You could just turn the TV, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, back then. Like,
Shit, and back then we only had a couple channels too. I know you remember. We ain't had much. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Definitely,
yeah.
man. Definitely.
Had the Atari, the Nintendo.
Yeah, man.
You
Yeah,
know
man. I
what
remember when
I'm
Sega
saying?
Genesis came out, I was happy as shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That was the jump off.
Genesis. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So as the
Mhm.
music influenced the situation, obviously I know there came a certain time in the 90s where the streets started to emulate into the music. What was the
Right.
music you was listening to? Because I know West Coast got a giant influence on the music game, especially at that time with NWA and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
especially when Pac came into play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
It was a lot.
how was that? What was your influences back then from the West Coast artists that was coming out in the game?
I used to listen to a lot of Tupac. I used to
Mm,
listen to a lot of DJ Quick. They was real hot at that time.
mm, mm.
Dog Pound, the Dog Food album. I used to listen to Snoop and all of them, you know what I mean? Because that
Yeah,
was our West Coast flavor that we had down there in the inner
yeah,
city, you know what I'm
yeah, hell
saying? So
yeah.
it was a lot of, I would listen to Ice Cube every now and then, but
Yeah,
everybody had their West Coast artists that they liked the most that they would probably,
true,
they loved that music. But Tupac was one of my favorite rap artists, like a lot of millions of other people.
true,
You know what I'm saying? He influenced me to write and rap the way that I do
true.
because during the years listening to his work and his work ethics and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I even had a chance to talk to Tupac over the phone in
Mm.
1996 too.
How
And
and if you can indulge, how was that conversation and what was spoken on that conversation? If you can indulge, sir.
well, that conversation, it wasn't hella long, but it was straight to the point.
Yeah,
I got on the phone with him. That's when Tyree, that's when those Nextel chirp phones was
yeah,
around
yeah,
with the
yeah,
little
yeah, yeah,
Bluetooth shit, the Nextel phones and shit.
yeah.
And Tyrese came into the room and he was like, June. I said, what's up? He's like, guess who I'm about to call? I said, who? He said,
Mm.
Tupac. I was
Mm.
like, yeah, right, you're about to call Tupac.
Yeah,
He was like, nah, June, serious. I'm for real. I'm about to call Tupac.
crazy.
So I was like, I was like, all right. So he went in the living room and came back, and Tupac was on the phone.
Crazy, man.
And then I was like, Pop. He's like, yeah, what's up, man? I'm
Yeah,
like, man, what's up, man? I'm Tyrese Gibson's older brother. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I love your music, man. I love everything that you're doing, man. I
Damn
was like,
right.
what you about to get into today? Tupac did that little laugh. He was like, he was like smoking on the Newport, about to go to the studio.
Yeah, man.
I was like, nice, man. I was like, Pac, man, I love your work. I'm like,
Yeah,
man, you definitely influenced me as an artist, man, to want to write. He was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really have a whole, I was like,
yeah,
I didn't know what to really ask the legend
yeah,
at that time. 'Cause it
yeah,
was just like, yeah, I'm on the phone with a legend, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
man.
So I didn't know what to ask him, but I had that chance to at least talk to Tupac over the phone was big to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Tupac
Rest in peace,
Shakur. You
Pac,
know what I
man.
mean?
Definitely. No, that's a
And
blessing, man.
yeah, man. And ever since then, he just influenced me, man, to carry out the music the way that
Yeah,
I do,
yeah.
on the level that I do.
No, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, man. And man, if I'm not mistaken, that one role that your brother Tyrese got into as far as Baby Boy, I heard that was for Pac.
Yeah.
Mr. John Singleton, wrote that situation and wanted Pac into that situation, but obviously, rest in peace, things
Yeah.
happen with Pac, you know what I'm saying? So definitely. So it's
Yeah.
growing up into adulthood. Your brother is doing his thing. He's rocking how he's rocking, you know what I'm saying? I know that
Right, right.
in life we all got our own journeys, you know what I'm saying? And
Right, right.
what exact journey did you take while your brother was taking off into his journey? What was your journey with that situation at that time? Because I know he had the Coca-Cola commercial that banged out. He was doing the Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
What was your journey into your manhood when things really started to crack off? Because I know it was hectic for the family because things was pushing hard, you know?
Yeah, my direction that I was going into when Tyrese, this is before Tyrese really well. Tyrese was starting to get his buzz when he did that Coca-Cola in 1996. He did
Yeah.
that Coca-Cola commercial, you know what I'm saying? And the direction that I was going into, I was the first person in the family to do a movie.
Mm, mm,
The name of the movie was called All or Nothing.
mm.
I was the lead act. That's when Blockbusters was out, and my movie went straight video at that time
Yeah.
when it came out. It was called All or Nothing. I had the lead role.
Nice.
That's when I had a bald head. I didn't have no hair or nothing. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? I
yeah,
didn't have no cornrows, no hair.
yeah,
And I was trying to be African with the bald head look and all that, like my little brother.
yeah.
And I wanted to get into something different outside the streets and the approach and
It's
everything, the
true.
way that it was, looking at how things was going. You know, because LA County is real competitive.
It is.
Everybody and their mom was sitting on dubs somewhere, rolling around, you know what I'm saying, in the inner city, bumping down the beat, beating down the block.
Facts.
It was a thing to see every single day, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So the direction that I was going in, I had did that movie. I still was doing music,
yeah,
but I wasn't recording as many records as started to do way after the fact, after I did that movie. You
yeah,
can Google it, type in Tyrone Gibson, All or Nothing.
yeah.
The movie was filmed in like I think 2001,
Nice.
and yeah, I had done that. I graduated out of high school early. Instead of doing 4 years, I did 3 years. Me and Tyrese graduated from Allen Leroy Locke High School at that
Nice.
time, 1996,
Nice.
and we both was just on two different paths, man, looking at things differently. I still was in the hood with my mom.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Still living with my mom's in the crib, having my mom's out around the
yeah,
house.
yeah.
Rest in peace to my mom's.
God bless.
And Tyrese was still, out there in the inner city in Hollywood.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Getting out there, trying to find his way. You know what I mean? Trying to meet, network with individuals. He was out there just, making moves, power moves and
yeah,
stuff like that. And I
yeah.
and my movie it was creating a buzz, but it wasn't to the magnitude like how he did when he got introduced to do Baby Boy.
True.
You know what
True.
I mean? That was his first movie, and that movie, like you said, was originally, supposed to have been for Tupac.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? But Tupac ended up getting killed
yeah,
in Vegas out here because I live in Vegas now.
yeah, yeah. No, I know.
And, out there, that street the gunshots and all that rang out.
Yeah,
I just rolled past that today, Koval right there. I just rolled past that today. So I'm like,
crazy.
you think about all of that, man. But um, I was just trying to find a different direction. Tyrese was singing,
Yeah.
and he had signed a record deal.
Yeah.
He just came out with a new Platinum Plus album,
Mm-hmm.
1,500,000 copies sold in 1996 when he first came out with his
Mm-hmm.
first Tyrese album.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just a lot going on. And from the approach from watching that, I wanted to find my own niche into the game and find out, my own direction and
True.
everything, all the things that I was trying to do on my
True.
own. I still was in the streets. I still was in the hood. I got paid $20,880 in cash from the movie when I finally got paid. So I
Nice.
started,
Nice.
you know, start drinking,
Yeah.
slanging,
Yeah.
doing that
Yeah.
shit. Buying whips and do whatever, you know what I mean? Trying to hustle. But I should have been more smarter with the money at the time and trying to approach the game a little bit different
Yeah.
the way that I did. But it was just another approach, a different direction that I was in.
Mm.
I was still in the hood when Tyrese was already, moved out of the house.
Yeah.
He would come by every now and then to come check in and stuff like that. He moved out with his first manager,
Yeah.
Greg Parks and Gail Atkins, they the
Yeah.
one discovered Tyrese, you know what I'm saying? And then my music teacher, rest in peace, Mr.
Rest
Andrews,
in peace. Yeah.
he told Tyrese about that Coca-Cola commercial.
Yeah.
He was in
Yeah.
class and
Yeah.
he made an announcement. He was like, "I got some students, you guys want to sign up to do this Coca-Cola commercial." And
Yeah.
Tyrese was he was a class clown at the time. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He was in the back of the class waving his hands like, "I'll do it, I'll
Yeah.
do it." He
Yeah.
ran down the stairs. He signed up. And they loved him on the set.
Killed
Boom,
that.
and they put that Coca-Cola commercial out. And it was just it set a message out into the world, and all these record labels was going fucking
Crazy.
crazy,
I
man, trying
know.
to trying to trying to get him signed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
when that had happened, RCA Records offered him a deal for like 500,000 and built him a brand new house from the ground up in
Mm.
Hawthorne and Gardena, and we was it was nice to see
Yeah.
all of that stuff happening. And then when he came out with RCA Records, he had sold 1,500,000 copies in the first 2 weeks
Yeah. Yeah.
on that
Wow.
Tyrese album.
Yeah. And
So I
how?
was 17, he was 16, I was 17.
Yeah.
So, we had everything we wanted,
How
man.
was that changed though? Because I know it's almost like a culture shock. Because coming from certain environments that we come from, and then setting into that type of fame so quickly and money, and just you have the pick of the litter of whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? How did that
Right, right.
affect? Would you say, in your opinion, how do you think that affect yourself as well as the family going into it?
Uh, it made us it made us feel elevated as far as like we didn't feel normal. You know what I'm
True.
saying?
Yeah.
We wasn't living normal.
Yeah.
We would always get approached by situations and people.
Yeah.
We would always have we would always have opportunities that nobody had. VIP. We would walk straight past, going past in the red carpet. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We would have security guards pulling up. It was just a whole nother limelight compared to how it used to be living and managing, maintaining the way if you live just a regular individual
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying?
9 to 5. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
not you don't got the light on you. So going to these events, going to the club, people going crazy when walking the room
Yeah,
and
man.
social media and all of that shit, man.
Yeah.
Once the light is on you, is on you.
Yeah.
So it's like you just feel you don't feel arrogant or cocky. You just feel like you just don't feel like the normal everyday go
Yeah.
lucky person anymore.
Yeah. Now,
All
how?
because of what he done.
Yeah. How did the block? Because I know we come from a certain. See, I have friends. I'm in a certain situation myself, and obviously I have
Right.
friends from the block. You know what I'm saying? That I love dearly, still
Yeah.
to this day. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
obviously, some of these individuals, they can't come on this journey. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, it's just
Right.
like that. You love them, and you always will. But how did the block and the peoples from the block react to the success that y'all was having?
They was happy about it. They was happy, and it was, you got the good and the bad when that came with it. You know what I'm saying? Even the Bloods was mad when the Tyrese came out. You know what I'm saying? Because he
Yeah.
came out with an album called 2000 Watts, and the Bloods was trying to get mad at Tyrese,
Yeah.
from it was just a lot of street shit, politics.
Politics. Yeah.
You know what I mean? The homies from the hood, they was happy about what was happening because we all grew up from the same block.
Yeah.
And all
Yeah.
the Grape Streets was on some hustle shit back then. You know what I'm
Damn
saying?
right,
They
baby.
still are.
Damn right.
And they were still doing their thing big time in the inner cities.
Yeah.
So it was a hustle thing anyway. You know what
True.
I mean? And Tyrese pretty much, man, was just, we was on some other shit. He wouldn't come into the hood, going breaking bread with everybody in the hood
Yeah.
and all that, like the real individual should have been. He was just
Yeah.
looking at it like, I'm from the hood, but I got other things going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love my people
Yeah.
from Watts, California. You always represented Watts, California. You always talked
Hands
about the
down.
people in the block and this and that and that
Yeah.
whenever he had a chance to. But I understood his mission. I understand what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be a target when you in the hood. You don't want to be,
Facts.
you seen what happened to Nipsey Hussle down there. You
Facts.
see all the stuff that's going down there with the '60s and all of
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
So you don't want to. It's nothing wrong with going into the hood,
Yeah.
but you got to know when and where to go into the hood.
True.
If you got money like that and
True.
you up on your feet like that, you got to
True.
know who to fuck with in the hood.
Yeah.
You're
Cause
gonna
it's
always be protected with, what I'm
yeah.
saying, when you go into the hood, but it's just like you just got to know how to move, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah,
Cause man, LA, it's definitely up for certain individuals because they move differently than what they should, obviously, because there's a lot of politics
yeah,
involved. That's facts. But definitely,
yeah,
man. So as the rise came up into his situation, obviously, you know what I'm saying, you was a part of this situation as well, just basically being in this vicinity and doing what you was doing. What was the actual goal for yourself as you was moving forward and just having all access to all these different people and different avenues? What was your main goal at the time as y'all became men in the game? You know what I'm saying?
one of my main goals was just trying to just learn from all of the people that was millionaires. One of my main goals was to you know to just understand the nature of how life could change. I had goals, a lot of goals. I
Yeah.
wanted to become the next millionaire in the family, from selling cars and sales and car salesman
Yeah.
on down to working for a multi-million dollar CBD company,
Yeah.
the fucking dispensary business. And, it was a lot of shit that I was involved in that I was doing at that time to try
Yeah.
to come up to make money, you know what I
Definitely.
mean? So,
Definitely.
um, it was just, when you growing up, man, and you around all of them people, you just gotta make the choice to want to change when you grow up, to
True.
get out of the street mentality.
True.
The hood is gonna always be in your heart and in your mind, but you
True.
gotta turn that mentality into corporate mind state. You know what I mean? You
Very
gotta think
true.
iconic thoughts.
Hmm.
You got to be able to approach people in the game to where you build their respect in the streets from the individuals that you grew up with, and they're gonna respect your new business and your new mindset. They're gonna
Facts.
respect everything that you live and how you living and how you moving.
Facts.
You know what I
Nah.
mean? Like I said, it ain't gonna never be no love lost, because when you grow up, when you grow up with individuals, you can outgrow individuals, or you
Yeah.
can still
Have
stay
that
in touch
love,
with
man.
those individuals and
Yeah.
still love them. Like,
Yeah.
this money and fame shit ain't gonna change me. I'm gonna still stay 100 with my peoples, regardless of the fact of how
Period.
any of the circumstances panned out. You know what I
Period.
mean?
It's facts, man.
So you could change for the better.
Yeah.
But just watching everything, man, from how the streets was, man, you ain't gonna never get that time back. You ain't gonna never,
It's facts.
have those. You never gonna see a lot of them people because they're dead and gone now, and a lot of
Yeah.
them in prison.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what I'm saying? So,
Do you almost feel like
mm,
cause at times, like, just to break bread with you real quick, like at times I can almost feel a sense of guilt in a sense, because I got friends that's never gonna see the light of day. And I got friends that are in the grave to this day over violence and street shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, realistically.
right,
And
yeah,
the journey that I took, you know what I'm saying? Like, at times you can almost have a sense of guilt in a way, because we love these fucking
right,
people, like, hands down, and they're not here
right.
to reap the benefits that we did as the choices we made. Do you ever feel that kind of way in a sense?
Uh, I just, I just feel like, out of all of the people, man, that's living in a different lifestyle compared to how we're living, I just feel like choices was what made situations occur the way that it did with a lot of people that's in the hood.
Yes, yeah,
And some of them, it was the situations where they got caught up and got murdered,
yeah,
drive-bys and this and that, and just being set up and all that shit and robbed. And
yeah.
but I mean, I just personally don't want to. Don't. It's a lot of things I don't really want to talk about, but
I understand.
I mean, there's a lot of things, you know what I'm saying. But you just gotta know, man, how to approach the streets when you on a whole nother level.
Yeah,
And you either gonna continue to get the love and the respect or you're not. You know what
true,
I'm saying? Because
true,
of how you moving.
true. No,
So
definitely, definitely true. I agree
even
with you, man.
when you go to prison, man, and you got a name on the street, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? You're gonna automatically be placed where you need to be when you go in there because it's just the way that just where you gotta move.
yeah. No, that's
You know what I mean? It's
definitely
automatic.
real.
It's automatic.
Yeah.
It's automatic, man. Yeah.
Now, if you could talk to the youth, and if you could talk to a young man or a young female that's leading a certain path or going down a certain road that they're going down, because you've been there, and I can tell you've been
Right.
there because I can look in your eyes as a man and I can see it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
I know
Right.
when people are cut from a certain cloth, and I can see that on you. What would you
Right.
say
Right.
to the youth? Because you went from the streets to a different side of the spectrum. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? Your brother and yourself. What would you tell this young man that look like us, that rock like us, about the way that he's going and how he can change? If you would, please.
If I would speak to the youth, I would tell all of the young individuals that's out there, because I'm 45 years old now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't getting no younger. I would tell them, y'all not getting no younger, man. Y'all gotta teach yourselves to be smarter. You got to
Yeah.
teach yourselves to be around people that are smarter than you. Learn
Mm.
from them. You know what I'm saying? Learn from them individuals that know more than you because they can be the ones to change your life if you're serious about changing your life.
Yeah.
Don't try to follow the trends that everybody's doing. Be your own thing. Do your
Yeah.
own thing. Become your own entity. Become your own man, your own woman. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Definitely.
you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with growing up. But when you do, just make sure that you just make the right choices. Education is everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Education is really important and I value that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Mm. Mm.
it's just
Salute.
it's just every kid got his own way of how he wants to see himself or herself. So to drop jewels on individuals that's growing up like that, man, you just gotta make sure. I just want the youth just be inspired by the people that you
Definitely.
see yourself that you want to be like
Definitely.
and look them up, read
Yeah.
their stories,
Yeah.
look into their videos, look at to see how they done it and where how they got there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Kind of
Like
like what you did with
like
Pac in a
that.
sense back then. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Same.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, definitely, man. Now, from
yeah.
being on the streets and seeing fame right in front of you than most have in the past, period, most people don't ever get to see or taste that certain type of situation. What would you say that is the biggest misconception of fame? Because not all fame is good, obviously, you know what I'm saying? What would you think,
Nah.
in your own personal opinion, that people get misconstrued about fame because they're chasing this dream for so long and chasing something for so much, but they don't even know what they're getting themselves into? What's the responsibilities to having fame coming from where we come from?
Having the responsibilities, man, you're gonna have several meetings. You gotta always be prepared to fly. You gotta have money to back up everything that you're doing.
Yeah,
You gotta have corporate mentality. You
yeah,
gotta have uh yeah, an accountant. You
yeah,
probably gotta have managers. You gotta have people that are smarter than you
yeah, man.
that's helping you get through the $1 million contracts. Pretty much you see all this fame and all that glory and all of that shit that all of these stars is doing, but behind the scenes is
Work.
full blown business. Phone calls. You got to be able to manage and maintain how to live. that lifestyle. Once you live in a certain type of lifestyle, you got to manage it.
Damn
So
right.
you have to have people that knows how to manage the lifestyle. You got to respect the money.
Damn right.
You know, when you respect the money gonna respect you. You know what I mean? And
I
this is
agree.
how it's gonna be.
I
You
agree,
know what I
man.
mean? But so you just gotta know how to. If you living in that lifestyle, man, you gotta know how the business aspects of it. You gotta know how to live it.
Yeah.
If you live in it and you really in that lane like that on some millionaire shit, man, you ain't gonna have time to be
No.
thinking about nothing small, man. You
No.
you you know you test people to see where they at and see how things is gonna go,
Yeah.
and then you give people a pass on certain shit,
Yeah.
and that's it depends, but you still got to be smart on how you do your diligence with the business with people because
True.
when you in that limelight, you see all of the women, all of the fancy cars, you see the
Yeah.
big cribs on the hills and all of that shit, man. But that shit took a lot of work to get there. It
That's
ain't like it was
yeah.
just thrown
Yeah.
in your lap. Like my
People don't
brother,
see
like you'll
that.
say in a minute,
Yeah, they
I
don't
done
see
had
the work.
thousands. My brother tell you in a minute, I done had thousands of flights all over the world. I done had meetings. I done sat with the Prince of Dubai. I done
Yeah.
sat and done this. I done sat and done that and done this.
Yeah.
Texted me the other day on the phone. He said, June, I'm in the middle. We're doing interviews.
Mm-hmm.
When he said that just kind of motivated me a little bit. I was like, man, let me just hit John up,
I
man. You know what
got
I'm
you.
saying? See what's going on. You
I
know what I
got
mean?
you, man. No doubt. No
So,
doubt, man. Man, I appreciate the time.
but
I appreciate the
yeah,
effort. You definitely a real one. I respect you on so many spectrum because I've met celebrities in the past and I've met the representatives of celebrities in a sense. Because it's not every
right,
day that you get a one-on-one with somebody, an individual like yourself, that's been through similar situations that I've been through that I can adapt to. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I
I got you.
respect that, and I respect you for being transparent, and I respect you for giving the message to the youth because I feel that's important. If you could give a couple
Yeah.
words to sum up how proud you are of your family, because I know you come from a good family. I can tell it from the jump. What would be a
Right,
couple
right.
words if you could speak on about the brilliance and the definite beautifulness of the Gibson family? What would you define that?
I would say that my family is a rare jewel into the world. Um, we definitely come from a different cloth outside of everybody else. We're
Yes,
just
sir.
rare. And we, as a family, we grew up together. Sometimes you grow apart from each other, you still stay in contact. I
Yeah,
mean, I would just say about my family, man, we just grew up around a solid foundation that surrounded us.
yeah,
And we have to learn how to become who we are. It wasn't an easy thing to be who we are. We had to learn how to be. We had to learn how to act. We had to learn
yeah,
where to go, where to learn not to go. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So as far as my family being who they are, I would say we educated individuals that come from the street that learn from the best of the best and knew and know what we want out here. You
damn
know what I'm
right.
saying? And like you said, man, like we just one of a kind individuals that's out here,
Yeah,
man. My family is definitely original. I don't know, I can speak for a lot of people's families, but
yeah,
as far as the music and the talent, it's like we all original individuals,
I
man.
agree. No, I
So,
agree, man. I agree.
my
Definitely.
older sister resting in peace.
Rest in
My mom
peace.
resting in peace. My
Rest in
nephew
peace.
resting in peace right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, I have my sister Shantae Gibson,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, Queen G,
yeah.
she's doing her thing still, praying for her. She's been having some medical issues going on, but
My prayers, brother.
my mom had two girls. My mom had two girls, two boys, so it wasn't really a whole big squadron like that.
Yeah.
But out in St. Louis, Missouri is where all my intermediate family is at, and I got a lot of people that's out in Watts, California, and LA,
Mm,
and I got a lot of nieces and nephews.
nice.
I have
Nice.
I have six children. Three
God
girls, three
bless.
boys.
Yeah,
As far as my family, I would just say we're a rare jewel to the world.
I agree.
that can deliver a message to the world like no other. They give the opportunities to us the way how we deserve it.
I agree. No, I definitely agree, bro. I definitely agree. I want to thank you right now for the time and the effort to come chop it up with me, man. It's definitely well deserved. God bless you, your whole family for what y'all
Yeah,
do, because like you said, I think in my personal opinion, you guys are all jewels for the entertainment and the joy and
yeah,
love that y'all bring to different people. And from you coming from a certain area in a certain environment and be able to tell these stories, I feel like it can really help a young person out there that's really going through anything or trying to achieve something great. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the
right.
day, we can't
Yeah,
take none of this wisdom with us. You know what I'm saying? We just can't. So God bless you, June, man. I
not at all,
appreciate you,
man.
man. It's always love and it always will be. Any last words for
For
the
sure,
people
man.
out there? You know what I'm saying at all?
Just y'all tap in, tune in, stay with me as far as the music. If y'all want to hear some of the records, go to soundcloud.com, type in Tyrone Ricardo Gibson in the search
Mm,
menu. You will find a whole lot of records there that I recorded. They were just a bunch of ideas that I put out there. And you can go to YouTube and type in June Polion. That's JUNEPOLION.
mm,
And you'll be able to hear a lot of stuff that I worked on, new stuff.
yeah.
I'm gonna be getting back
Dope.
into the studio soon. So,
And you just hit like 1 million
we got
plays
some.
on your recent single too. I seen like you just hit 1 million downloads, yo.
Yeah, I did. Off of
Mm.
one of my singles.
No,
That
congrats, brother. No, that's
was
love.
crazy. It wasn't even out a week and a
Mm,
half, man. I hit a million likes and a
mm.
million plays.
Love, baby.
So yeah,
No, that's love, man.
yeah.
Tyrone, I appreciate you,
Yes, sir.
man. God bless you. God bless you on your journey. God bless what you're doing. And I appreciate you and thank you very much, sir.
You got it, man. No problem, man. Appreciate it.
No doubt. You done checked out Concrete Conversations. I'm your host, John Villanueva, and we out here like we stole something. Mm.
All right, John John.
I got 1,000 stories I can tell you, but 1 million stories I cannot. These are the stories that I can tell you. Real stories, real people, real talk. Concrete Conversation.